In 1890, the railroad industry reported 6,300 deaths and 35,000 injuries to their workers. Most railroads built their own hospitals, and today we are in Paducah, Kentucky, visiting the old Illinois Central Railroad Hospital.
Wow, this place is amazing. It's kind of cool. Look at this place.
So we are at 14th and Broadway, and originally the Illinois Central Railroad had a hospital here, and they had built that in the late 1800s, but it burned down in 1917, and this building was constructed on the same spot and opened in 1919, and it remained the Illinois Central Railroad Hospital until 1957, when a man named George Katterjohn purchased the building, and he turned it into office spaces. And this building became known as the Katterjohn Building, and when I was a little girl, my dad actually had his law office in this building. And from what I remember, it was very cavernous, dark, very cold building. The floors were stone and all the woodwork was very dark. And I recall being very frightened to have to come into this building. And this building was used as an office space until 2007. And at that time, it was owned by the Paducah Historical Properties, who had purchased it in 2002. This building has sat empty and abandoned for a very long time, and there was a lot of vandalism, graffiti, and water leakage, and the inside shows the damage caused by the neglect. And I did not venture in because there were no open windows and there was no way for me to get in. And it's right next to the police station, and they really don't want you to trespass into this building. And I don't believe it's very safe. However, I did find this amazing video of the inside of the Katterjohn building on YouTube, and it's from a creator called Abandoned West Kentucky. And I will put a link to that video in my description, and you guys really need to go check it out. He goes through the entire building. It is creepy and very interesting.
Wow, this is just so beautiful. I'm so sorry that they're letting this just fall apart. When I was a little girl, my dentist office was in this building. Oh, look, they've already started on the back. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, that is so sad.
Also on this spot, Confederate General Nathan B. Forrest had his makeshift headquarters. Paducah was occupied by Union forces and had built a fort called Fort Anderson, and the Confederates attacked Paducah on March 25, 1864, and they burned about 60 homes and warehouses before they retreated.
Wow, look at this building. My dad said one of these buildings was for the heating and had tunnels that led to it.
In 2021, the building was sold to a couple for $10,120, and the owners said that they were going to see if there was any grant money available to refurbish the building, but if there wasn't, they were just going to tear it down and sell off all the material. But thank goodness that never happened, because they sold the property to Bldg Kentucky LLC in 2021 for $75,000, and then 2 months later, they sold the property to Evergreen Development LLC for $125,000, and they remain the owners of the property today. And there was always talk about turning this back into office space or apartment buildings, but the owners have never done anything to this building except let it rot. And according to the local news station, WPS, portions of the property were recommended for emergency demolition, and they included the single-story section at the back of this building, the brick smokestack near the secondary structure, and the front porch structure.
It's too bad that those windows are all boarded up. I can't even push my camera up there to see what's inside.
Demolition began in October of 2022, but the current owner sent a cease and desist to the city, stating that they were never informed of the impending demolition. Mayor George Bray said they were already done with the demolition at this point, but that if the owner doesn't take action on upkeep of the property, more demolition will be on the way, and they are working to reach a long-term resolution with the owners. And I certainly hope that they do, because this is a Paducah landmark, and it is a beautiful structure, and I would love to see it restored.
They just don't make buildings like this anymore. You know, so it's sad to see them when they go.
Before we leave today, I wanted to show you the proximity of the hospital to the actual railroad buildings. And as you can see, they are not very far away. Thanks for joining me today on our visit to the old Railroad Hospital, also known as the Katterjohn Building. And I've done much more exploring here in Western Kentucky, so please be sure to check out some of my other adventures. Thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you next time. Bye now.